video series. Today, I want to talk about earning your trust. Have other people earn your trust. So, I want to share with you a story and start by saying do not give your trust to everybody. People need to earn your trust. And always, 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 100% of the time, trust yourself over what other people are telling you. That is a great rule to live by. If you're going to have rules to live by, that would be a good one to have. And why do I say that? Because your inner guidance will always be talking to you. So that's the first thing. So I have been consulting to organizations for over 20 years. And I had a CFO that was my client. And I also had an executive director of the same organization that was my client. Now, you could Google this organization if you want. I'll tell you where they are at the end of the story. But my client came to me and said some things in session that were concerning. And my final statement in our last session with that CFO was, whatever it is that you do not compromise your personal integrity over what this executive director is asking you to do. However you want to interpret that, always trust yourself over other people. Now, people have notoriously been manipulating and lying and organizations throughout their conception. That does not give them a pass to treat you badly. People will treat you how you allow them to. So when you have drawn a line of your personal integrity as, I'm not going to do this, it doesn't feel comfortable to me, that is what you use in order to trust other people. So this executive director had very loose boundaries and really was asking this woman to do some things that were illegal. And I gave her my advice, and that was the last session that we had before she ended up getting fired later on and losing her job because she authorized an exorbitant amount of money to this executive director to do what was considered to be illegal. Now, he also ended up getting fired. I was not his consultant at that time. Or while he was doing this illegal work. But I suspected that he was up to no good, but he was no longer my personal client. So if people are doing things outside of my work, I don't have the authority or need to report anything like that, because I only report when people are doing illegal acts and I'm aware of it. And they weren't doing it under my consulting time frame. So long story short, they both ended up doing illegal work on a military installation. And it wasn't just like a little fuzzy line. It was flat out illegal to do what they were doing. And they both got caught. And they both, one actually got fired, which as a civilian employee is very difficult to get fired. And the other got moved into another position until he retired. Now, this is a good example of when somebody does not trust themselves, right? And this executive director did not demonstrate any behavior that was congruent with his word or his actions. And so when you're looking to have others, this is an extreme example, by the way, but when you're looking at whether I should trust this person or that person or this, so you have that question in your mind, that's a red flag. So you want to listen to that awareness that you're having, but also look for these people to demonstrate that they are actually trustworthy. So they would have their words and their behaviors and actions to be aligned. So oftentimes people say one thing and do another. Well, that's incongruent, right? There are other words that people might use, like hypocrites. There's all kinds of words, but for me, it's not about labeling people a particular way as much it is having an awareness about how people are. So even us, we have friends and friends that will say things, and I'll have a conversation with my husband, and I will be like, do they even know who they're talking to? Like, I'm baffled that people will say things to me or my husband, who we look at behaviors to match, right? And think that we're not going to see that this is some type of facade. But, I'll just kind of, I'll laugh at it, but it's definitely a sign of people who are, one, disconnected, they're not aware. Two, incongruent. So they're saying words that go against the behavior in which they're consistently exhibiting. And to me, is that trustworthy? A hell no. Um, for me. Now, are they my friends that are close and dear to me? No. Um, are they people that I would trust to do something if I ever needed it? Um, and share personal information with? No. Um, does that mean I could? Yes, but I would do that knowing that, I don't care. Who knows what's going on with me? And that would be the point. But the key here is to see their behavior around little things that you would think is inconsequential, like their thoughts and their actions about a particular situation. It doesn't matter how inconsequential that particular situation is, because they are showing you who they are as it relates to trust. Whether you want to trust them, whether what they say is trustworthy. And these are all indications of whether you would want somebody in what I would call your inner circle or have them on the periphery. And the truth is that most of us have experiences within our own family where people are exhibiting these behaviors that are untrustworthy. And that's not unfortunate. That's just what it is. And so when you're not attached to what it is and you see people for who they are, then you get to make your decisions as to, well, is it worth my time, effort, and energy to invest in this relationship? For me, the answer is very clear because I'm very clear with my values and what I am aligning my behavior with. If you're not clear with your values and what you're aligning with, then you might choose to continue to collude with these people who are untrustworthy, just like that CFO did with that executive director. Now, she is a chief financial officer. She could have at any point in time made a decision to not continue this relationship with that executive director who she called her boss. Ultimately, she has resources that you all have as well too. She just didn't utilize them. So my suggestion for today is, um, learn to trust yourself over other people. Learn your own values and use those values to discern who you're going to trust. And also, it's okay to have people show you what trustworthy behaviors are. Don't say, just because they say trust me doesn't mean that you trust them. No, I went to 9 doctors. This is totally off the topic, but I went to 9 doctors before I found a doctor who I felt was congruent enough to give me advice around a particular situation. So trust your instincts. Keep looking for those people who you can align to that will help you align more to peace and harmony. That's the goal, right? I am Kiana Sage, and I guide people to peace. I hope you have a great day. Happy Sunday, and happy Mother's Day to all those mothers out there. Cheers.